So today, the President of the United States went after journalist Bob Woodward after his new book described crazy town inside the White House. Let's dig into the facts and the feelings. White House insider, former White House communications director, Anthony Scaramucci. Anthony,
hey,
always a pleasure.
All right. Congratulations on the show.
So you've heard what's going on with the reactions to this. Mattis says never happened. Kelly said, I never said it. The White House comes out and says this is all untrue. Bob Woodward, months of interviews, taped, documents, all untrue. What's the chance of that?
Well, I mean, I think the chance is low, but where I would disagree with Van is that let's say it's 10, 20% true. Let's even say it's 50% true. What everybody's missing about this is that the president has a operating style that's different from the other 44 presidents. And he's an aggressive guy. He has a tendency to say what's on his mind. He wears things on his sleeve. And despite all that, I think he's been resoundingly effective. If you look at his record, Chris, a lot of great things have happened for the country over the last 19 months. So what's really at issue is the style of his communication and who he is as a person. Is that what the American people voted for? Is that the American people want? And so my opinion, and you're going to disagree with me, and obviously half the country will disagree with me. We'll have to see what happens in 2020. But I think by and large, people are looking at the direction the country's going in, looking at the success in national security, the economy, et cetera, and saying, okay, this is obviously an unorthodox, non-Washingtonian guy, a guy that doesn't have the diplomacy or the organization style of the other presidents. So whether it's true or whether it's not true, my guess is that elements of it are true. And my guess is that so what if the guy is very successful in terms of how
that's where the disagreement comes in.
And so that's
I
what we have
don't
to debate.
understand how a good economy is an excuse for bad leadership.
No, I didn't say it was an excuse. What I'm saying is that there's a result orientation to this guy's 50-plus year business career, and there has been a result orientation for the last 19 months.
He has been successful at one thing, and you know this. Anthony, you're an actual businessman, okay? You actually built a business that's really successful.
I built two very successful businesses, thank God.
He never has.
One of which that I just returned to. So
he never has. He has never done what you did.
Okay, but you can't.
He is a great salesman. He is a great marketer. He's made an amazing brand business for himself, and he was really good on TV playing that role. He's never been a great businessman, returning equity to investors, making other people wealthy, paying his bills.
Okay, well, hold on a second. But let's step back. You can't say the same thing at the same time. Let's split the two things. He has been a successful business person. He has a very lavish lifestyle that shows off that business success. He hasn't been a public company operator. He hasn't been an asset manager like me.
He's never run
teams.
He has,
but he has built good brands. And I know a lot of people that have lent him money for these business projects that have made very good money alongside of him.
A lot have lost a lot of money, too.
Okay, so hold on a second. You're talking about something different. You're talking about his operating style and his management style.
Yes.
Is that management style working, in a way that everybody likes?
Or is it happening
so let me address
despite him?
that. But let me address that. Okay, so his operating style and his management style, he needs help. He actually needs somebody in there that actually likes him, somebody in there that gets his personality, knows when to call him on stuff that they disagree with, but do it in enough of a deferential way where he's okay with it. He's not flustered with them.
He's president of the United States. You know?
I understand that, but here's the problem. Okay, without a good managerial structure around him, let's use Reagan as an example. Okay. Reagan put Meese in there, Baker in there, he put Deaver in there. The only one he didn't really know that well coming in was Baker. The other two guys knew him very well from California. They got along great. The president has nobody in the mix right now that he can turn to say that he has 10, 15 years of operating experience with. Tell me one person inside the White House.
His kids.
His kids, okay, but they are, a generation younger than him. I'm talking about somebody like a Deaver, somebody like a...
No, I don't disagree with that.
And so that's a big issue.
But there's a reason that people there either didn't want to stay, got pushed out,
but you see, so
or
to
didn't
me,
want
if
to come in the first place.
You said to me if I wanted to be objective and totally analytical about the situation, he needs to hire people around him.
If they can get them?
Well, of course he can get them. I mean, he can get just about anybody that he wants.
They've been trying to hire a lot of people for a long time. They have vacancies.
That's your sources, but my sources tell me that there are other people say that they would, of course, love the opportunity to work in the White House. But he's doing something that I do disagree with. Okay, what he's doing is he's mixing things up where his style is now so abrasive and his style is now so caustic. Okay, that is actually costing him. Okay. My 83-year-old father would say it differently. He worked in construction his whole life, never went to college. But if you take a rock and you smash at a rock with a sledgehammer 10 times, it may not break. 20 times, it may not break. On the 99th time, when you hit that rock, it will shatter into pieces, and you don't know which one of those hits caused it. And so what I would say to the president, stop hitting the rock, okay, because you're going to shatter something which is known as your base. You're going to shatter something which is a large group of blue-collar people, frankly, that think you're the only lone advocate for them in Washington. So stop smashing at the rock. Change your style. You're an adaptive guy. You're an entrepreneur. You went through a major bankruptcy. Change your style. If you change your style...
to change his style.
Okay, you think so, but I don't think so.
He is who he is. He says the same thing. Let me ask you one thing.
He can change his style.
Don't name any names.
Go ahead.
You cannot tell me that you have not heard the president called by the people on the inside the exact same things that are reported in this book. They can deny it all they want now. That's what you're supposed to do when they're in those positions. I'm not besmirching their integrity, but you know you've heard him call those things.
Well, I've heard him call people things that if they showed up on TV, it would be regrettable. I've heard I've heard them call him things that if he showed up on TV that were regrettable. And I said things that have actually showed up on TV that are regrettable.
You own what you say in a very unique way, though.
But I do own what I say, and some of the things that I said were actually regrettable. And so I'm sure people said things that are regrettable, but that's part of what's going on in there, is that it's a rough and tumble environment. People are shooting at each other. What I don't love about the situation is that everybody's talking anonymously. Okay, so if you really got chops and you really got bones, get up and say the truth in the way you really meant it.
Porter spoke, Wright spoke,
but
others spoke.
Let me tell you another thing that's going on. A lot of these establishmentarians that are living inside the White House, they want to go back to their buddies inside of Washington and say, wink, wink, yeah, I'm just working there, but I don't like the president, and someday the president's not going to be here, but you know how Washington works. We're all cockroaches are going to be living in this kitchen forever, and so you got to like me after the president leaves. You see, and so one of the things that's happening with the Woodward piece and other pieces like it is I've got to prop myself up, say something anonymous to Bob Woodward, have it get out there that I'm not really inside the president's inner circle because all these Washingtonians really don't like the president, and I got to live with these people after the president leaves. And this is where the president's making a huge mistake. Okay, if the president would only listen, he would hire people that actually like him. He would hire people that actually care about his agenda, care about the American people, and care less about the Washington establishment.
He seems to want to check.
You know, he likes hiring these guys that have these big, titles and so forth. And they may like them and they may not like them. Your sources tell you that they don't like them. My sources tell me that they don't like them. But you want to know something? I've never heard any of those people specifically say that. I mean, the only thing I heard
General... That's because they have class.
The only thing I heard General Kelly say is that I got to let you go. I shook his hand. I said, okay, that's fine. I haven't heard him say any of those other things firsthand.
I got to let you go, too. Anthony Scaramucci, thank you for the truth.
Good to be here.